Hi, this is Don Farber with VineyardSoft Corporation, and I'd like to welcome you to this training course on alert acknowledgements in KnowledgeSync. This is the first of two training courses on the Acknowledgements module, and it's worth noting that this module was added to KnowledgeSync as of version 9. Let's start off by talking about what an alert acknowledgement is and how you might use it. I'd like to start off with two scenarios. Consider an order confirmation. KnowledgeSync is frequently used to monitor for orders that are entered into an ERP or CRM system, and then KnowledgeSync triggers an alert message, typically an email sent back to a customer containing details of the order that was placed. You might wish to allow a customer receiving such an email to acknowledge receipt of it and specify whether or not the details of the order are correct as they stand. A second use for the Alert Acknowledgements module is in the area of customer service. You might have technicians who travel out to customer sites to perform service. An email alert message from KnowledgeSync might be used to notify a technician about a job they need to perform. With the Acknowledgements module, you can allow that technician to acknowledge receipt of that job and specify any additional comments. For example, maybe they need to wait a day or two in order for a specific part to arrive. Now let's take a look at the current slide. On the right-hand section of this slide, you can see an example of an email message sent by KnowledgeSync about an order confirmation. The top of this email message contains some details about the order that was placed and then specifies, is this order correct? Please click here to confirm. The URL that you see beneath that line is the alert acknowledgement. In KnowledgeSync, acknowledgements are web forms that a person is taken to where they can acknowledge receipt of an alert and specify additional comments. Let's move now to take a look at what such an acknowledgement form looks like. As I mentioned, acknowledgement forms are web pages, and KnowledgeSync includes 6 different types of acknowledgement forms, from the simplest form that simply lets an alert recipient specify, yes, they acknowledge receipt of that alert, to the form you're looking at on the right-hand side of the current slide, that not only lets a recipient specify that they have received the alert, but whether they're satisfied with the contents of that alert and whether they wish to make any changes or add any comments in relation to that alert. Please note that these acknowledgement forms that ship with KnowledgeSync are templates that are 100% customizable. Using HTML syntax, you can go in and change the look and format of these acknowledgement forms, change the font, point size, etc., add in your company's name, logo, etc. Now, once an alert recipient acknowledges receipt of that message, typically by specifying their answer down at the bottom of this form and clicking on the Submit Acknowledgement button, that acknowledgement information is automatically relayed back to KnowledgeSync, where you can see it in a couple of different ways. First of all, there's the KnowledgeSync Monitor module. This will show you what acknowledgements have been sent and what have been received. So once again, looking at the illustration on the right-hand side of the current slide, we can see that 3 events have been triggered today, the third of which, highlighted in blue, is my order confirmation event. This event did include alerts requesting acknowledgements. If we look down at the lower part of this window, we can see that 3 email alert messages were sent out, each of which requested an acknowledgement. Only one of those 3 email messages, the one sent to me, Don Farber, has been acknowledged. And KnowledgeSync shows when the acknowledgement was received, the amount of time between when the original alert was sent and the acknowledgement was received, and finally, the answer and any comments that the recipient made to that alert message. So let's now talk about some of the specifics of the Acknowledgements module, and to do that, we're going to exit from this PowerPoint and take a look at the documentation on the Alert Acknowledgements module. Now you'll notice that the documentation starts by referring to an acknowledgement event pack. This is an event pack that is free from VineyardSoft and downloadable from our website. It contains 2 applications within it. One is a small sample ERP application, which allows you to use it to trigger sample acknowledgements to help you learn how this module works. The second application that is contained within this acknowledgement event pack is called simply Acknowledgements. And this application allows you to use KnowledgeSync to monitor the status of its own acknowledgements. What alerts have been sent out that request acknowledgements, what acknowledgements have been received, and very importantly, what acknowledgements have been requested but not yet received. Let's scroll down a little bit in this chapter. So, I'd like to spend a moment to talk about technical support assistance that is available to you for the Acknowledgements module. It is important to note that use and configuration of the Acknowledgements module does require a bit more technical expertise. You need to be familiar with such IT concepts as firewall security, how to open a port, security certificates, etc. Please note that the VineyardSoft support staff cannot make any changes to these aspects of your system due to their sensitivity in security. Let's scroll down a little bit further. We come to the section that talks about the 6 types of acknowledgement forms that come with KnowledgeSync. As I mentioned earlier, it starts with the simplest acknowledgement form that lets a recipient simply say, yes, I've received this alert, to the most sophisticated acknowledgement form typically used in scenarios like an order confirmation that lets a person say, yes, I've received the alert and it's okay as it stands, or I need to make some changes to something connected with that alert, and also includes a multi-line text area for someone to enter those comments. Not only can these forms be customized, but it's important to note that this collection of 6 acknowledgement forms is specific to each application that you set up in KnowledgeSync. For example, you might have KnowledgeSync monitoring both an ERP or accounting system and also a CRM or sales system. And you might wish to send acknowledgements based upon alerts that are sent out about both applications. Now, those acknowledgements might be a little bit different. Those acknowledgements that are ERP-related might need to use ERP-related terminology, and those acknowledgements that are CRM-related might need to use CRM-related terminology. So each set of 6 acknowledgement forms can be specific to each application that you have configured within KnowledgeSync. Let's scroll down a little bit further. And we're going to get finally to the section titled Testing Acknowledgements. And I strongly encourage you to read through this section as it instructs you on how to set up the Acknowledgements module for initial learning and testing purposes in a local environment. By that, I mean that you can install KnowledgeSync on a single server, enable the Acknowledgements module, and trigger events that send acknowledgements and even respond to those acknowledgements all within the confines of the one server or computer on which KnowledgeSync is installed. So this pretty much brings us to the end of this training course on Acknowledgements module. I'm just bringing up the KnowledgeSync Navigator module right now so you can get a quick glimpse at some of the additional information that is set up with the Acknowledgements event pack. Please do download the Acknowledgements event pack and proceed with the training course number 2 on the Acknowledgements module so you can get familiar with this exciting new functionality in the KnowledgeSync application. On behalf of VineyardSoft Corporation, I'm Don Farber, and I thank you very much for your time and attention. Take care.